تبارك الذي الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ينظر ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيق وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج لهم محسنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إنهم إلا في ذلك كبير وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير اعترفوا بذنبهم فقد أصحاب السعير إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير وأسروا قولكم معروف إنه عليم بذات الصدور ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير الذي جعل لكم أرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور آمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا تمور أم أمنتم من في السماء يرسل عليكم حاصبا فستعلمون كيف نذير ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نكير أولم يروا إلى الطير فوقهم صافات وقفت ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير أمن هذا الذي هو جند يرهم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرين إلا الغرور من هذا الذي يرزقكم بل لجوا في عتو ونفور يمشي مكبا على وجهه أهدى أمن يمشي سويا على صراط مستقيم قل هو الذي أنشأ وجعل السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون قل هو الذي ذرأكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين فلما رأوه زلفة سيئت وجوه الذين كفروا وقيل هذا الذي كنتم به تدعون أرأيتم أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم قل هو الرحمن آمنا به وعليه توكلنا فستعلمون من هو في ضلال مبين أرأيتم إن أصبح ماء فمن يأتيكم بماء معين
صلى الله عليك يا رسول وسلم يا حبيب الله فرشتے جتنے آئے ہیں مدینے میں تربت ہے فرشتے جس کے زائر ہیں مدینے میں وہ تربت ہے یہ وہ تربت ہے جس کو عرش اعظم پر فضیلت ہے رشتے جس کے ظاہر ہے مدینے غربت ہے بلادشت مدینہ سے چمن کو کوئی نسبت ہے بلادشت مدینہ سے چمن کو کوئی نسبت ہے مدینے کی تاش کے باغ جنت ہے مدینے کی فضارش کے بہار باغ جنت ہے یہ محبت ہے جس کو اعظم پر فضیلت ہے مدینہ اگر ساتھ ہے تو سب کلام ہے مدینہ اگر ساتھ ہے تو پھر کلام ہے خدا رکھے کو اسی کا ولید ہے خدا رکھے کو اسی کا دم ولید ہے وہ تربت ہے جس عام پر فضیلت ہے مدینہ گلشن ہے جو گلشن ہے مدینہ ہے جو ہر گلشن ہے بہار باغ جنت بھی ملے گی دولت ہے جنت بھی مدینے کی دولت ہے وہ تربت ہے جس کو عرش اعظم پر فضیلت ہے مدینہ چھوڑ کی کیا ضرورت ہے مدینہ ہر سیرے جنا کی ضرورت ہے یہ جنت سے بھی بہتر ہے یہ جیتے جی جنت ہے یہ جنت سے بہتر ہے یہ جنت ہے مدینہ دائی ہے ہمیں کیا اعلیٰ کو مدینے سے محبت ہے ہمیں کیا حق تعالیٰ مدینے سے محبت ہے مدینے سے محبت کی علامت ہے مدینے سے محبت کی علامت ہے وہ مدینے کیسی بستی ہے مدینہ کیسی بستی ہے دیا یا رحمت برس ہے جہاں ہے جہاں رحمت برسی ہے جہاں رحم ہے وہ تربت ہے جس کو عرش اعظم پر فضیلت ہے یہاں بھی ان کی چلتی ان کی چلتی ہے یہاں بھی چلتی ہے وہاں بھی ان چلتی ہے مدینہ رانی ہے دو عالم پر ہے دو عالم پر حکومت ہے وہ تربت ہے جس پر حکومت زمین پر وہ حمد ہے آسمانوں میں زمین پر وہ محمد ہے آسمانوں میں چلا ہے ان کی مدحت ہے یہاں بھی ان کا چلا ہے وہاں بھی ان کی مدحت ہے غضب کر دیا مدینے سے چلے مبہی کر دیا آخر مدینے سے لے آئے وہ جنت جس کی جانوں کو بھی حسرت ہے وہ جنت ہے جس کو عرش والوں کو بھی حسرت ہے چھوڑ کر اثر بلا کیوں جنت کو مدینہ چھوڑ کر اثر بلا کیوں آئے جنت کو جنت یار ایک نعمت مدینے کی بدولت ہے جنت کیا ہر نعمت مدینے کی بدولت ہے رشتے جس کے ساتھ وہ تربت ہے یہ وہ تربت جس کو عرش اعظم پر وسیل ہے صلو علی الحبیب صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم
صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله عليه وسلم.
صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. صلوا على محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام على خاتم النبيين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام يا الله يا حبيب الله السلام على الله وعلى الله نويت سنة الاعتكاف. The beloved Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam report to have stated, the one who recites salah upon me will be the closest to me on the day of judgment. We did narration many times, but let's ponder upon narration. That day, the day of judgment, when every individual will be running left, right, and center to gain some sort of comfort. Everyone will be worried. Rasulullah that if you are closeness on that day, what you have to do is recite more in this world. Now the question is, how many of actually salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our lives? Alhamdulillah, we are very fortunate in this day and age. We have a beautiful religious environment of Dawat-e-Islami. That environment always reminds us of the benefits and the virtues of sending salawat and salam upon the sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever a muballigh of the Islamic Dar Bayan starts anything in relation to preaching of the Islami, we always begin with the virtue, the excellences, the benefits of citing salawat and salam through the bark upon the final prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But have we actually considered the importance of it? That we hear all the questions, but how many times are we actually salawat on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? If we are reciting very good Medina, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But if we are reciting Medina, this is a moment of us for us to ponder, to think what can we do to recite more salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this topic close to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is the of today beyond inshallah al-Kareem. Gaining access to the sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is one of the reasons why this generation today, one of the actions that will give us to the sallallahu in the is to recite more salawat upon him sallallahu alaihi wasallam this world, inshallah al-Kareem. So let's make an firm intention today with the blessings of this ijtima, of this gathering of the Islamic weekly gathering, and increase in our recitation of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam through the barakah of him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If some of us had the to recite 10, 15, 20 times, 50 times upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam daily, then we can make the intention upon that and recite 100 times. Someone had their habit of reciting times daily, you increased upon that 313 times daily. If someone had the habit of reciting 330 times every day, you also can increase, go 5 times. Someone recites 500 daily, go to 100 times every day. The more you add it, the will become Allah Kareem. The more blessings you to achieve, the more salah that we recite, inshallah, we'll get blessings. May Allah Almighty give us all ability to recite more and more salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let me just add one narration in this regard here before we continue with the actual aspect. And once a companion, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said that, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I will give one of my time in reciting something upon you. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he heard this from his companion. He said that if you do this, this will be of yours and difficulties. But you know this will be better. Then that individual, that companion said that Rasulullah, we give half of mine to recite salat upon you. Again, the Prophet said that this will be for your burdens and your worries. But if you do more, this will be better for you. Then that companion give 3 quarters of time in reciting salawat upon you. The Prophet did the same thing again. This suffice for your worries and your problems. And if you more, this will for you. To such an extent that individual companion, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I will give all of my extra time in sending And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this is better for you if you give all of your time in reciting Salat. Look at the blessings of reciting salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's make this firm intention today. For blessings of this recitation of salawat, it's a thing of the Dawat-e-Islami Allah Kareem, that we will all increase our recitation of salawat sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You want a fit in the Nek Amal in the Hadith book that every single at to recite 313 the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why the figure 313? All of the Prophets alayhi wassalatu wassalam that from the Prophet Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, Sayyidina Muhammadur Rasul who is Khamun Nabiyyin. All of the Prophets alayhi salam, from amongst them, there was some that are the soon. That number, they were 330. And the first of Islam, the Battle of Badr, there also there were 310 companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So scholars stated that the person who recites salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam 313 times daily, he will be amongst recite salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam abundantly during that time. So this is why Amir al-Qint has given us this pious deed. You recite salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam 313 times. May Allah Almighty salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam abundantly during our lifetime. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ta'ala salatan wa salaman alayka ya sayyidi ya Rasulullah ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. As we are aware, alhamdulillah, within the religious environment of Dawat-e-Islami, another beautiful act that is at the beginning of everything that we do is that we make good intentions. Intentions are very, very important. To the Prophet stated, "Innamal a'malu binniyat." The actions, they are dependent upon their intention. In another narration, the Prophet stated, "Afdalul amali an-niyatu sadiqa." That the best form of action is true intention. So we should try our best that everything we do in our daily routine, we try to intend before that. Whatever it may be, it's permissible. Make good intentions before it, so that you can take as well. Like we're going to attend this ijtima. Listen to. Let's first make some good intentions, so that we can also get more seriousness into the bayan as well, inshallah. First and foremost, our basic, our foundation intention will be that I do this shit in order to seek the pleasure of Allah Almighty. By ending that, listen to that, I will religious knowledge, inshallah. I will try to attend actively, try those actions that cause distraction in the ijtima. Try to focus specifically on the prayers that are being delivered, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, in addition to this, add another intention. Those of us that can, we try to sit in the ijtima, inshallah. As it was the sunnah of the that we would sit in the company of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi to religious knowledge, they would sit in such a way that if someone placed a cloth over their heads, that cloth it would hit. This is how they would sit of the Prophet sallallahu not the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but we can the way Sahaba. We can sit together in inshallah, and inshallah by the blessings this sitting together will make our hearts for one another, the love for one another increase, inshallah. So you are out to as well, inshallah. You can bring your chairs as well if you need to as well, inshallah. Okay. Slightly move forward, inshallah. You can try to sit together, inshallah ta'ala. And let's ease the love from one another, sake of Allah. Full blessings of the religious environment of inshallah. All the brothers that are sitting on the sides, no specific reason to sit on the sides. I request you also please come closer, inshallah, and together and attend the ijtima together, inshallah. May Allah give us the blessing of the weekly month of Dawat-e-Islami. Ameen. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Another intention that we can make is that I will try my best to end the ijtima from the until the end, inshallah. Unless it is necessary, I will leave during my, and I will try to sit in respect to the ijtima as well. Sallu ala al-Habib ta'ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. When the Prophet of Allah, he migrated towards Al-Madinah from Al-Mukarramah. The Prophet sallallahu nowadays today the Quba is situated in that time. Actually, when to Madinah to Munawwara, at that time, that area of the Quba, the Prophet spent time there. And into Madinah to Munawwara. Then at that time there was no. Then made a rain. The concept of Masjid Nabawi Sharif. And people to Munawwara. The area waiting to Madinah. Then they dedicated themselves for the did not they did not have anything to eat. They did, those to stay on a chabutra in Masjid Nabawi Sharif. And that blessed chabutra is called Kufa. Yeah, and the people of that chabutra, they known as the Ashab al-Sharif. Yeah, very you know the Ashab al-Sharif. Yeah, the people of the terrace, you can say in English. Yeah, this was a terrace that was built for those companions who dedicated themselves for Islam. From amongst those companions, one of the famous ones is Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala. This is why you find of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they are dedicated by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala. Why? Because he dedicated all of his time he spent in the company of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he will learn the religion of Islam from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then the other companions that were getting involved in business and stuff like that, in their day-to-day activities, they would then come to these companions of the day. So then they will teach them, and that's how the they narrate to the Ashab Sufa. There was one particular companion, and his name was Sayyidina Abi. A very beautiful. He was a young companion. It is mentioned in the narrations he was at the age of approximately 18 to 20 years of age. He was young, but he dedicated himself to take up Islam. This companion, Sayyidina Rabi'a, he would always spend many a time during residence as well as during travel. When the Prophet goes to some place, he would spend that time with the Prophet. And he mentioned that it was my wish that I would serve the Prophet to some extent that the Prophet would come in the middle of the night and he would request anything, then I would quickly present that to the Prophet. He would present water to the Prophet in the middle of the night so the Prophet can perform wudu. He would present water of the Prophet also in the middle of the night so the Prophet can perform miswak as well. Once the Prophet he woke up in the middle of the night, and as per routine, Sayyidina Rabi, he presented the miswak and water to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu he probably miswak and do. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam got flowing as it would always go, but at that occasion it was extreme flowing generously and with extreme. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rabi'a, mango and mango. Sayyidina Rabi'a radiyallahu ta'ala asks, how did he ask? Let's listen to how Sayyidina radiyallahu anhu, he asked Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sayyidina radiyallahu anhu, he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I want your neighborhood in Jannah. What did he ask? I want your neighbor in Jannah. I want your in Jannah. So what is he asking? Not only asking for Jannah from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, but he's asking for the completion of Rasulullah in Jannah as well. Wow. And this is why son of Sarkar put it very beautifully in a couplet. Jahan ata jannat ki baat de nabi mukhtar hai jis jo chahe aakar abani ata kar de jannat nahi kar de jabani ata kar de bari कर दे नबी इसको जो अदा कर दे मुख्तार जिसको चाहे. The Prophet, he has absolute authority of everything. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, ask for that. Ask for this, ask for akhirah. No condition whatsoever. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, ask whatever you want this world, ask from you. Ask them. Ask from me. Whatever you ask me, I will grant. granted to you. Now think, when we say to someone, ask for your need, what do we say to that individual? Ask from your, I say things. Yeah, but no question on that. He said, ask whoever you, because he has authority everything. In the of the Sahih al-Bukhari, Prophet sallallahu ta'ala has said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted me the keys of all of the law, and this treasure Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is our sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he has authority. He can give whatever he wants to whom he wants. And look at what was his understanding bringing us radiallahu ta'ala an. He knew that I am to ask from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that I'm not going to have something small, something of this world, something. No, I'm going to ask for the greatest thing. Yeah, he asked for the greatest thing. What is that greatest thing? That greatest thing that he asked for the companionship of Rasulullah in Jannah. Let's dissect this format. What is he asking for? He's asking for Jannah. So the first asking Khatima bil Khair upon Iman, that's Khatima. Because only the died Iman, only will enter into Jannah. So by saying Rabi Allah Ta'ala an, him asking for Jannah, the companionship of the Prophet Jannah, he is asking for Khatima Iman. Not only, but he is also asking for a bit to carry out actions. Not only for us upon those righteous actions as well. Why? Because you can only in Jannah by carrying out actions. If an individual does not carry out righteous actions in this world, he won't gain a lofty status in Jannah. But Sayyidina Rabi' and he put the most religious state in Jannah, the companion of the Prophet. That is the highest state in Jannah. So Sayyidina Rabi' he is asking for, he is asked for that, so he is asking to do, asking the deeds as well, so that he may be active in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this shows that we ask from the sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the greatest. Sarkari al-Hasan, he also takes this point again and he says, मांगे मांगेंगे मांगी पाएंगे क्यों कि सरकार में ना है ना हाजत अगर की है. When we ask for the world, there always has doubt that he's in the we are asking from, no, or he may, but if this and that. But when it comes to the Prophet, you said, मांगेंगे मांगी जाएंगे, we will ask him and we will continue from him. मुंह मांगी जाएंगे. Why? क्योंकि सरकार में ना ला है, जद है. There is no in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there is for it in the sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
मांगे 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 मांगेंगे पाए मांगेंगे मांगे जाएंगे मांगे सरकार में हाजत अगर की है सरकार है की है
मंगते का हाथ
पिता का हाथ उठते ही दी हाथ उठते ही थी बस दूरी कबूलो अर्ज में दूरी कबूलो अर्ज में बस हाथ कर रही है दूरी कबूलो अर्ज में बस हाथ कर रही है
Subhanallah. Sakari Allah, in the second mention the request of the seeker from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the gift of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The only cost in these two please is the difference of the hand. That is it. Between request ourselves and giving from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the only the spread of the hands the Prophet sallallahu is giving, and this is our beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this case the companions in relation to ask what on this occasion for Rabi, but rather on this one occasion, Prophet sallallahu he was in conversation with the son of and the Prophet was talking to him, and at a distance his mother, she heard the Prophet to her son, and she said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that Allah is with your companionship on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, generosity began flowing once again. Oh Allah, make my companionship in Akhirah. Make them my companion in the Akhirah. Sayyidina Ammar radiyallahu ta'ala blessed from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After that day, any of this that came to me befell me, I did not worry about. Why? Because I have of the companionship of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another occasion that he was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam again, he said to the Bedouin that asked the companion one, they state that we were and surprised as to the fortune of Bedouin. But remember, he was Bedouin. They thought that he was going to ask for Jannah. He was Bedouin. Yeah, Bedouin's going to be a Bedouin. He please bless me with obedience, an animal that I can use as such as a camel or a horse like this. The Prophet says, said to him that I have granted it to you. Anything he goes like, yes, the ride that animal as well. Said that I've given that anything gain that. Please give me the provisions for travel as well. Again, the Prophet gave what he asked for. 3 occasions of giving to where he give about Allah. After this narration, this place, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that isn't the asking very ajib compared to the asking of Israel. He explained the story when Musa alayhi, he commanded to leave Egypt by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he gave the command also to take the body of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. Where mentions this word of Sayyidina salam. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi to the bodies, and she said that yes, I do. Sayyidina Yusuf, Sayyidina, I will do you, but there's one condition. I will tell you where the body of Sayyidina Ali Sahib asked that I will see what I can do. The old woman, she said, I want to be blessed with your company. Sayyidina Ali try to convince, take Jannah from, and she, I will send you. Sayyidina Musa convinced many occasions. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give Jesus for what you guys give Jesus for. So then Musa accepted to give her partnership to Musa Islam in Jannah, and that lady told of the whereabouts of the body of Yusuf. Then Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam took the body of Sayyidina alayhi salam and they left Egypt. Rasulullah, he mentioned how astonishing it was that the old lady of Bani Israel, she asked of her alayhi salam in Jannah. In other words, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is motivating the Sahaba to ask the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam the companionship of their Prophet in Jannah as well. By mentioning this and doing this motivation, give the benefit asked what the woman of this is the Prophet wants his nation for the companionship of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Jannah as well. This is why we also make dua in the court of Almighty as well. And Allah blesses us with the companionship of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Jannah as well. May Allah give us the ability to learn about the blessed life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and give the ability to understand the realm of Rasulullah in this world and fill that maqam in the akhirah as well, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the ability to close Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Jannah as well. And sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Shaykh Abdul Haq rahmatullahi ta'ala, he actions that we can do to gain the closeness to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the future. We will mention at the beginning. Recite salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Another one is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Narration of Rabi'a radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, that help me and aid me against your nafs with excessive prostrations, excessive such. Help me in this. Now, my dear brothers, on a daily basis, we have the opportunity to do so many sajdas of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just think to yourself. Start with Fajr Salah in the morning, 4 rakahs of Fajr Salah, 12 rakahs of Salatul Zuhr, 8 rakahs of Salatul Asr, 7 rakahs of Salatul Maghrib, 17 rakahs of Salatul Isha. All of them at that times about 2. Approximately 90 sajdas in the day. That's just for your 5 daily salah. Then you do a minimum of 2 rakahs of tahajjud, 4 rakahs of Salatul Shakachash, Salatul Duha, 6 rakahs for Salatul Awabin. And then after that, Salatul Tawbah, Salatul Masjid Tahiyyah, Masjid Wudu. Add all of these occasions together and you get somebody 120 times that day. Look at the opportunities that we get to perfect that in one single day. And that Ashtiq Rasul, that and devote the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is regular in single day. Would he those individuals that are going to be those active in doing day? This is not including all of the additional Salatul Layl that we can recite, etc., etc. If someone recites all of the verses of sajda of the Quran in one day and does those sajdas of the Quran, he does all of and the extra nawafil and stuff like that. I'm not doing all of it. Let's just take ban. We do these in a day. Look, the blessed can attain, inshallah. Okay. So let's make it mention that we try our best to help the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with excessive patience, inshallah. Okay. In another, he has given glad tidings to that individual who gives the upbringing of daughters, 2 or 3, and in some generations, 1 daughter has been mentioned, who gives them up with patience and with gives them that upbringing. The glading of being in the name of the Prophet in Jannah as well. In another narration, it is mentioned those people that after the upbringing of they are also mentioned closest to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These opportunities are out there for us, my dear Islam brothers. Let's take these opportunities and get the blessing of the companionship of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in gain the blessings of the Islam as well. Such Madri pearls are to this religious of the Islami, and within the weekly Ijtima of the Islami, I urge brothers that try yourself to attend the weekly and try in other people as well. As you have heard these beautiful Madris today, inshallah al-Kareem, next week if you bring someone with you, learn something as well, inshallah. If they ask, not only will they get the reward, but with your infantry courses here, you will also get the reward as well, inshallah. Let's all try and take this, make this a habit of inviting whoever we meet to gain the things of the religious environment of Dawat-e-Islami. بخاتم النبيين صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلوا على الحبيب
صلى الله عليه وسلم.
recited. The saints of Islam have quoted that whoever recites this Nabi once on the night preceding Friday, the night between Thursday and Friday on a regular basis, will the vision of the beloved and blessed Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wa sallam, of death, as well as buried the grave, to the extent to see the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wa sallam, luring into the grave with his own hand. Allah salli wa sallim ala سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي الحبيب علي القدر العظيم الجاه وعلى آله وسلم. All sins forgiven. Is narrated by Sayyidina radiallahu ta'ala and that the beloved and blessed Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has stated, whoever recites while sitting, then prior to his sitting back, and if he recites it while sitting, then before he stands back, his sins will be forgiven. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammad wa ala wa sallim. Whoever recites this salat ala Nabi, 70 portals of mercy are opened for him. Sallallahu ala the one reciting this salat ala Nabi once receives the reward of reciting salat ala Nabi. Allah عدد ما في علم الله بدوام mentioned. If anyone recites the following dua 3 times he has found Laylatul Qadr. La ilaha illallah
of this time. We will be traveling in Allah on the 7th, 28th, and 9th of December. This month was as you know, the partners travel every month to different places from Derby, and we all ask brothers to take time and participate in these quarters. These generally most of the people are off from work, so you have time. Students are great you to spend with the brothers of Islami and spend in the way of Allah in order to seek knowledge. Rasulullah states in that whoever travels on a path to attain knowledge, Allah Azza wa Jal makes the path easier. So certainly the Dawat-e-Islami are a great way for us to gain more knowledge. We get to spend days with Allah, we get to pray in the row with the Jama'ah, and to gain knowledge. So it is a humble request that we not only ourselves but also bring our children, our with it. All the transport, the food will be arranged for you. Do your time. After the Ijtima, inshallah, see any of this. The Muslim is the main brother responsible for this. But you can inshallah, and we will everything for you, inshallah. We have class here in to the class the daytime will read how to be able to read the Quran correctly, how to read your Salah correctly, inshallah. So daytime class happens straight after Salah 30, and this is a week, Monday, Tuesday, and days. And we also have class. If you are able to daytime, take part in the evening class, which is from 6:45 till 7:45, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, 3 days a week. And we have a maktab for Ruhani. So this is a free for you. If you are suffering from any illnesses, to show health, this comes to yours, inshallah, as well. And this serves you free of charge, inshallah. So, Dua al-Habib, inshallah, conclude to all the end. Dua. Inshallah, we will recite through the 11 together. Salatu wassalam